Good morning, all of you. Let's go ahead, everybody. Okay. We're in chapter 2, residence status and scope of total income. Right, everybody? Quick revision. Again, like always, like on daily basis, what we do. We are checking the residence status of all the types of persons of, that is, types of person means assessees, what all types of person, whichever type of person we have. Individual, quickly, there can be three status, ROR, RNOR, and NR. Right, everybody? ROR, for ROR, what do we require? At least one of the basic conditions. And both of the additional conditions should be satisfied. Correct? What is basic condition number 1? At least 182 days in the current year. What is basic condition number 2? At least 60 days in the current year and at least 365 days in the last 4 years should be in India. Correct? Then additional condition number 1, at least for 2 years out of last 10 years should be resident in India. And additional condition number 2, at least 730 days in the last 7 years. Correct, everybody? Should be in India, the person. Yes, all of you, clear till here? Yeah, right. We'll go ahead, all of you. Okay. Then what have we seen? Types of income. Indian income and foreign income. Even if accrued in India or received in India or both, it will be what, bacho? Indian income. So only if it is not received in India as well as not accruing from India, it is what? Foreign income. This we had seen. So what about the taxability? Indian income is always taxable irrespective of the type of residential status. So ROR, RNOR, NR, whatever it is. Indian income is always taxable. And foreign income is taxable for only ROR. Correct? Foreign income is not taxable for NR. And only a special type of foreign income is taxable for RNOR. That is what? Foreign income that is accrued and received outside India, but the business was controlled, or you can say profession was set up in India. Clear? Then after individual, we have seen those again exception. Okay, which exception? Person leaving India for employment purpose for the first time, correct? Otherwise, member of a crew of an Indian ship. Then also person coming or visiting to India. That is also cases we have covered. Okay, person visiting India. Clear? Then what have we covered? What have we covered? We went to do another type of person, HUF. Now, HUF's residential status depends on what things. It can be the first thing you have to check is where is the control of the affairs of the HUF, and control or management of the affairs of the HUF. If it is partly or wholly in India, then resident. Only if it is wholly outside India, then non-resident. Clear? Now, once an HUF is resident, then we check ROR or RNOR, depending on what? Tell me all of you quickly. ROR or RNOR, depending on what, bacho? Kartas. You can unmute all of you quickly. Kartas residential status, ROR or RNOR. That also we had seen. Same thing for firms and firms and AOB. Where are the control happening? But something different or unique we have for company. Okay, company, what do we use? Indian company is always resident, tell me. Even if the poem is outside India. What was poem? Place of effective management. So very important. Even if it is an Indian company, but even if it is an Indian company, and even if poem is outside India, okay, all the decisions are being taken from outside India. Still, it is a resident company. Very important. Foreign company, on the other side, if they have poem in India, what did I say, bacho? Foreign company, if they have poem in India, it becomes again a resident company. Clear, everybody? Yes. So Indian company always resident. Foreign company, poem outside India, NR. But the poem is in India, it can be resident. And poem can change from year to year basis also. It is possible, right? Some year the management is in India, some year the management may not be in India, depends. Basically, it can be flexible. This is covered now, done. After that, what did we go into? We have seen section 7, not that much required overall right now. And 8 is not there directly. So section 9 we had gone into. Section 9 was what, bacho? Income deemed to accrue or arise in India. Understand on that. Overall section is very, very important. Okay. Everyone ready? Section 9 we were into, bacho, section 9. Overall that section is important. What does it say? Income deemed to accrue or arise in India. Income deemed to accrue or arise in India. So normally or basically, understand, normally or basically, in the beginning, it is a foreign income. from a normal point of view, it is what a foreign income. Clear till here? Or there can be cases that it is not clear whether it is Indian income or foreign income. What does Section 9 is making it? It is making it and Indian income. Are you getting the point? Basically, Section 9 is bringing the money in India or not. Bringing means what? Taxing it in India or not. Yes. Even if you have received the money outside India, even if you have worked outside India, worked means, let us say, accruing outside India. Okay, accruing outside India as well as received outside India. Normally, it is a foreign income, but we have special cases where this foreign income will be considered as deemed to accrue or arise in India. So it becomes an Indian income. Did you understand this? Basically, Section 9 is increasing the scope of Income Tax Act. It is saying that whatever income may be even outside India, even that we will tax. Clear? Now, because if at all I told you, just check this example. Salary payable by Government of India to its employees outside India for services also given outside India. Which example I told you? Embassies, consulate, and all of that. Hai na? Government employees who are working outside India. Correct till here? Yes. So even in those cases, bacho, what will happen? It will be considered as Indian income. Taxable in India. Very important. What, bacho? Taxable in India. Clear? I think whatever I had highlighted, I think those points are covered. At least we have discussed basic. You know? Any property, asset, or source of income in India, your fixed deposit interest is going on. Correct till here? Or a rental income is going on from house property, shop, etc. And transfer of capital. Transfer means what did I tell you? Right? In very simple language right now. Transfer means sale of the asset. Which asset? Capital asset, which was in India. So if there is an NRI, non-resident Indian, he's settled, let us say, in USA. He has a property here in India. He sold the property. Now, since last 10-20 years, he is in USA only. Last 10-20 years, he is in USA. For income tax purpose, if we calculate his residential status, it will come to NR, non-resident. But he sold property in India. Clear till here? Let us say he even received the money outside India. Okay? Still, bacho, it is what? An Indian income. Yes, till here? Should we go ahead? All right. These points are covered. Now, for today, we'll come to some little critical part. Ready? Ready now? All of you? All right. I think I highlighted some theory also later on. Some small points. Okay, come here. I think salaries we have covered. That point number B, we have A, B, C. These points we have covered. And yeah, point number D, check. Allowances and perquisites. Allowances means some part of the salary. Perquisites means perks. P-E-R-K. Perk means benefits. Okay. Paid outside India by government is exempt by virtue of, or you can say by because of Section 10, subsection 7. Clear? And I think I've given in writing also, it is called as foreign allowance. Okay, Delia? Did I give you any example of allowances, or did you discuss what was allowance? We'll be checking that again in the chapter of salaries. Okay, everybody pay attention. But allowance normally means what? It is a part of salary. What, bacho? It is a part of salary. Clear, Delia? Given on regular basis to provide for a specific purpose. In CA Foundation, you have done statistics. Over there, you had a chapter of index number. Remember, all of you. In that chapter, you had a concept of or questions of dearness allowance. Remember that, all of you. So I should tell you that only in that in the concept of dearness allowance. What I told you, allowance is part of salary. Correct? And all the allowances are given only for some specific purposes. So dearness allowance was given for what purpose? To compensate for inflation. To compensate for inflation. There can be uniform allowance, traveling allowance, food allowance, medical allowance, yes, house rent allowance. So allowances can be for specific purpose. Clearly to help the employees. So foreign bacho allowance is something like the employee is doing too much. Is doing too much means what? He is not just working away from his home. He is working away from his homeland. He is working away from his country itself. So to compensate, to give something extra in the part of the salary, we give it as a part, we call it as foreign allowance. Clearly, everybody? Let us say if at all I used to work in some UK shift. UK shift means what? I used to work from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Okay, for 1.5 years, I was doing that after my graduation. Time pass job I wanted to do. So that job, that shift was UK shift. That means obviously we were working as per the timetable or as per the office hours of UK, United Kingdoms. Okay, everybody. So that means I was not working in normal hours. No, I was not working in normal Indian hours. So to compensate means to give something extra. That part again was called as shift allowance. Shift allowance means what? A different shift of the workings. Are you getting the point, everybody? Normally here, what do we have? Shift 9 to 5, 10 to 6, etc. But I was working something in different. So imagine those people used to come at 4 p.m. to office. Imagine that. There used to be people when we used to have lunch, etc. The people used to come to office at 4 p.m. and they used to work till obviously 12 a.m., 1 a.m., etc. So more complicated. There were people who used to come at night shift, USA. Anyways, okay, I hope you got the point. So foreign allowance is taxable or exempt? That is the important point now. Tell me. Important. Foreign allowance is but what? Exempt. Clear till here? Yes? Do you remember? I don't know if you remember or not. We have written this section 10, little bit. Just a small reference in your textbook. You have written this section 10. But for some other purpose in your textbook. Anybody? Basically, we have used section 10 somewhere. Do you remember? Question number 7 at the end. Good, Mansi. Yes? Section 10.1 talks about exempt. Under section 10.1, it talks about what's your exemption of agricultural income. Clear? 10.7 talks about what? Exemption of foreign allowance. And exemption meaning, you understand simple meaning? Means it is simply not taxable. Clear till here, all of you? Yes? Should we go ahead, everybody? Okay. Then, point number 4, bacho. Dividend paid by an Indian company outside India is deemed to accrue or arise in India. Clear? Is okay? This point was quite easy. Okay. Now let's get back to the technical terms. Ready? Sure. Pay attention and now interesting. These 3 things I'm covering now. Interest, if any, payable. Royalty, if any, payable. And fees for technical services, if payable. Okay. What is the nature of expenditure? Point number 1, interest. When do you pay interest? When will you pay interest? If there is some due, okay. Which transaction, bacho? There can be some loan thing, loan. If you have taken loan, bacho, you are repaying the loan, you will obviously repay with what? Along with interest. Yes or no? Everybody. Let me ask you a very simple question. Okay. If you did a fixed deposit of rupees 1 lakh, clear till here? And at maturity, again, I'm just giving a simple example. You got rupees 1.2 lakhs. How much you received, bacho, total? In totality, 1.2 lakhs. I'm writing this in bracket because that is definitely, bacho, in expenditure. How much you have received in totality, bacho? 1.2 lakhs. You will pay tax on which amount? 1 lakh, 1.2 lakhs, or 20,000? Only 3 options, not 4 options. Or none of these can also be there. You don't show the income. Tell me. You guys, unmute yourself. You can unmute. Tell me quickly. Okay, Kushbu, I got your answer. Okay. Others, you can give directly DM, direct message. Second one, that is 1.2 lakhs. Okay. All of you quickly answer. Tejal, Indrajit, whoever are there. Mansi. You invested, you understood the question, no? You invested 1 lakh, so that is expenditure, but you received 1.2 lakhs. So you'll pay tax on 1 lakh or 1.2 lakhs or 20,000. That was the question. Okay? Pay attention. You will obviously want to pay tax on 20,000. Because 20,000 is my income, not 1.2 lakhs. I received 1.2 lakhs. Doesn't mean I have earned 1.2 lakhs. Out of that 1.2 lakhs, 1 lakh is mine only, no? 1 lakh is mine only. See, this is the consider FD, no? FD you put, obviously, and at maturity get the entire amount along with interest. Are you getting my point? Are you aware or not aware? FD, you have done the chapter of time value of money, no? There is something called as lump sum and there is something differently called as annuity. So in FD, what happens? Lump sum, you invest the amount and lump sum you get one final figure. But the difference of investment and receipt, investment means what money you have put and what you're receiving. That difference is your income, na bachcho, of the interest. The difference is your income. Understood, Kushbu, Nitin, Tejal, Indrajit, if he's there. Okay, we'll go ahead, everybody. All right. So my income is what, bachcho? 20,000. Clear? Similarly, bachcho, let us say if bank, okay, bank, and there is, let us say, Mr. A. Bank now gave some loan. Okay, let us say of rupees 1 lakh. Clear, Delia? And again, he repaid the loan. Repaid the loan of rupees 1.2 lakhs. Clear? This is a classic, let us say, example of your vehicle loan. If at all you might have taken. Correct, Delia? Bank gave a loan of 1 lakh and Mr. A over a period of 5 years, 7 years, whatever, he repaid 1.2 lakhs. What is income of the bank, bachcho? Is it 1.2 lakhs or 20,000 now for the bank? It is bachcho 20,000. This is your time value of money. 20,000 they have earned as interest on giving the loan of 1 lakh. Is it simple, Delia? So the principal amount is never the income. Principal amount is never the income. Clear or no? Yes. Let us see if I, NDM, I give some money to Nitin Chaurasia. Okay. Let us say 10,000. Nitin said, I need some urgently, so I gave him. Okay, Delia. Then Nitin obviously is student, let us say. And I am not a money lender. And Nitin, after 1 month, gave me, or after 1 year, whatever, he gave me 10,000 rupees. Is there any income? Is there any kind of sort of income here? There are two transactions, in fact, if you analyze. Me to Nitin and Nitin to me. When Nitin receives, is it income? When Nitin receives, is it income? No. And when Nitin pays back to me, is it income? Also no. Clear, Delia? Because this is what loan transaction, bachcho. There is no element of income over here. Clear, everybody? You understood? In fact, there can be a concept of interest-free loan. This is an example of, let us say I have given interest-free loan to Nitin. Understood or no, all of you? Clear? All right. Okay. So pay attention. Why are we discussing here? Interest, if any, payable by. Payable by. Okay. I will not repay to sir. Haan, Nitin. Yeah. Take it as gift. Bring 75 marks minimum. Gift. Okay. We'll go ahead, everybody. Interest, if payable by. Pay attention, all of you. So what is the nature of expenditure? I'm just focusing on the first part. Interest. Payable by a non-resident. Okay. Payable by a non-resident. If money is borrowed, obviously you will pay interest only if you borrowed the amount, that is loan. If you have taken the loan, if the money is borrowed and used for the purpose of business or profession carried on in India. Little bit bouncer. This is your India. Let us say this is your USA foreign. This is Mr. A. Clear? Where is Mr. A? Mr. A is in USA. Clear, Delia? Now understand. There can be Mr. B. Or let us say there can be also Mr. C also. I'll give both the examples. Mr. B is in India. And Mr. C is in UK. Is it okay, everybody? All right. Let us say, bacho, interest is repaid by Mr. A. Interest is what, bacho? Repaid by Mr. A. Clear, Delia? So basically, who had taken the loan? Mr. A had taken the loan. From who? It can be from anybody. Are they specifying to whom they are being, to who is the recipient? Are they specifying that? No. They're saying by. So who is the payer? The payer is bacho NR, non-resident. That is the only case. Simple or no? This table is important. Give your 100% attention over here. Okay, it is a little tricky. So we are discussing payer, not payee. It is paid by NR. Is it paid to resident? Have they given like that? No. Okay, so pay attention. So either Mr. A gave the loan to Mr. C gave the loan to A, or B gave the loan to A. Fine, Delia? All right. So obviously, bacho, now this loan amount, okay, I'm writing here. It can be basically not rupees, it can be what dollars and etc. Okay, pounds, etc. Fine, Delia? Okay, all of you, it can be pounds and this can be rupees. And this guy, Mr. A, okay, he invested that money. What did I say, bacho? He invested that money to carry on some business, but where? That business, bacho, that money, whatever he received, he is investing it in India. Such a big, you can say, connection. Check, bacho. Interest paid by NR. If money is borrowed, obviously, and that money borrowed money is used for purpose of carrying on any business or profession in India. So ultimately investing in India. And for the investment, if the person pays any interest, basically whose income will be taxed in India? A, B or C? What do you think, bacho? Whose income will be deemed to accrue or arise in India? What do you think? Okay. A. It was a trick question. All the answers are wrong. A is not the correct answer. A is not the correct answer. What do we tax in India, bacho? What do we tax, bacho? Expenditure or income? If I take a loan from bank, is that loan my income? Just now I gave you examples. I gave a loan only, no, to Nitin. Is that income of Nitin? No. Nitin repaid back the loan. Is that income of mine? No. So what is the income component? Tell me that. What is the income component? I gave you example of fixed deposit and loan amount repaid. The income component is interest. Very good. Yes, very good, Tejal. The income component is interest. See, the case is what? Interest has to be paid by NR. But for Mr. A, the interest is expenditure. For Mr. A, the interest is expenditure. Yes or no? So it is income of C and B. It is income of C and B. Are you getting my point? We tax expenditure or income? Income, obviously. Clear? So importantly, Mr. C's income in India and B is in India. So yes, definitely taxable in India. Did you understand a little bit part now? Clear? So like I said, PE, you understand PE? PAYEE. PE can be anybody. PE is the recipient of income or no? है ना? That person's income will be taxed in India as deemed to accrue or arise in India. Clear till here? We'll write on later on that, all these diagrams again. Fine, that is point number one. Haan, Khushbu, that is there. But just as an investment, as an investor. As an investor. That is a secondary income and Khushbu. And here, see, whatever income, now understand. Whatever income will be generated from this business, if it is owned by Mr. A, then business income will be taxed in the hands of Mr. A, no? Correct? Business income. C got the income, na? Mansi. That is, see, even if you're earning outside India, what does Section 9 does? Section 9 brings that income back to India. Brings that back means what? Makes it taxable in India. Because Mr. C gave the loan to Mr. A, but that money was invested in India. So ultimately, that income is getting generated by investment in India. Which income I'm talking about now? Interest income. Interest income of C. Clear? So it can be NR to NR. Very important now. Understand? Forget Mr. B actually. It can be NR to NR. Okay? NR to NR, do you understand? Non-resident to non-resident. Clear? So non-resident has paid interest. Let us say to non-resident. Why? Because he took loan to invest it in some business in India. And that loan is repaid, correct? So the whoever's income it will be taxed in India. Clear, all of you? Secondly, if paid by, pay attention now. If technical services, little bit technical in nature, technical services will do in some time again, or royalty services. Royalty, you understand? IPR, intellectual property rights. It can be again patent or goodwill or trademark. Just tell you, any kind of your intellectual property which you can use as an author also, anything, no? So where for which, for the purpose of using of which you have to pay royalty. Clear? It can be mainly again in business language or business terms. It can be for some, you can say technology, and for technology, correct? Even a small software which you download, in fact, you're paying something like royalty only for that. It can be lump sum royalty or one-time royalty. It can be regular payment of royalty, right? Basically, when you download the software in your computer, do you own that software? You're owning a copy of it to be used on your machine. You don't own the software as such, correct? You don't have the proprietary rights to amend the software and to sell it to somebody else, correct? So you're just subscribing for the same. Anyways, if technical services or royalty services are utilized for purposes of business or profession carried on in India or making income from any source in India, okay? Now, the nature of only the amount is changing, okay? Pay attention. Interest payable by what, bacho? Non-resident. Why? Again, if technical services or royalty services are utilized for purpose of business, for the purpose of business or profession carried on in India or making income from any source in India. So again, it can be NR to NR. NR to NR. This Mr. A is still reaping obviously but you interest only. Correct, all of you? But Mr. A, now pay attention, little bit understand. What is the only difference? Mr. A took loan. He is not directly investing it in business. Clear till here? It is still the same example. Mr. A took loan. I should have entered the notebook. We'll write on all this thing in notebook in some time. So अरे यार फाइन. जैसे विच केस बच्चों 9(1) फॉर इंटरेस्ट. Under the first one, business in India. Clear till here? See, nature of expenditure is still the same, interest. Clear? Now understand second case I'm telling you. Let me first write down this. अरे यार. He is NR. So again, Mr. A has taken some loan from C and he's repaying the interest to C. No problem. But the money is not directly coming in India. The money is not getting invested in India. In fact, Mr. A is using that loan amount, okay, for paying some technical services. Pay attention. Again, it can be outside India, just tell you, or it can be in India. Clearly. For what? Fees for technical services or royalty. Fees for technical services or royalty. Are you getting the point here, everybody? And this royalty or technical services are utilized in India. Are utilized for a business in India. Check. If technical services, okay, or royalty services are utilized for purpose of business or profession in India, or carried on in India, or making income from any source in India. So Mr. A pays some technical services or royalty to somebody so that it can be utilized in some business in India. Let me just use the simple word, but to consultant. Consultant, you understand? Consultant, a technical person. So there is a technician, a technical person, a management person who may be a freelancer. Freelancer, you understand? Who works on his own as a consultant, or there can be consultancy firm outside India, or let us say even within India. And Mr. A pays technical services fees to them. Why? Because Mr. A wants their help, or you can say consultancy, for carry on the business in India. Are you getting a little bit clear? What was the first point, bacho? First point was directly investment in the business. Are you getting the point? This one I'm talking about. Okay, first part. It was directly investment in the business. And second point is what? We're paying some technical person now to do some, you can say, activity or help in India. Understood little bit till you tell me, all of you? Tejal. Khushbu. So B is what, bacho? Technical services or royalty. Technical services or royalty for business in India. Clear, Delia? Do you want to draw these diagrams and all? Write down, chalo. Little, I told you it's little technical or different. Write down these diagrams, draw these diagrams if you want quickly. Once done, let me know, okay? And still ask me doubts if you have any. Shall we go ahead, all of you? We'll see some examples. We'll get on this. Then we'll proceed ahead. Okay. So done. All right. Ready? Now, next one. Very simple to understand. If you understand the first part, then you'll understand third part also. But second part is very easy. Check. What is it? If interest, okay, or if now second point, if royalty paid by, okay, check here. If royalty paid by, same thing, or if FTS, fees for technical services, paid by who? See, there are common things now. Interest, royalty, or fees for technical services. Let us say paid by NR. Clearly, for what purposes? See, this has India connection. And these are your nature of expenditure. One person expenditure is other person income. This we have considered or no, bacho? This is your nature of expenditure. Therefore, obviously, what? Nature of income. These, everywhere, bacho, the word is used by. Can you see there, bacho? By, payable by. So, bacho, this category is what? Payer. Arey haan. Clear? So, if interest is paid by, or royalty is paid by, or fees for technical services is paid by NR, I'm now doing first case. Correctly? For what purpose? So that money received, that royalty bacho, benefit or technical services benefit is invested in India. Clear, all of you? So technical services or royalty are utilized for the purpose of business or profession in India, or generating some income source in India. Clear? Yes, clear, all of you? Done? Next one. Again, nature of income or expenditure or income. Interest is paid by, or royalty is paid by, or fees for technical services paid by Government of India. Simple. Paid by what, bacho? Government of India. To whom? To anybody. To who, bacho? Anybody. It will be what then? Income deemed to be accrued or arising in India. Simple. If paid by government to anybody, it is what, bacho? Indian income. Clear or no? Deemed to accrue or arise in India. Arey haan. Clear? Now same thing. Pay attention. Now pay attention. Is it okay, Nitin? Rachel understood earlier? Khushbu? Good. Pay attention now. If interest is paid by, royalty is paid by, royalty, you understand, IPR, or fees for technical services is paid by person resident in India now. Person resident in India. Clear till here? See, simple. If it is R to R transaction, you are like, sir, headache has started. I told you a little bit, some part here and there will be a little bit tough. If it is R to R, resident to resident, any problem, any issue we have here? Absolutely not. So we are not even mainly discussing this point, bacho. Section 9 is not for that it is resident to resident transactions. Are you getting my point? In fact, the income is going outside India. Section 9 is bringing it back in India. Are you understanding now? Tell me. Arey haan. So mainly now pay attention. What we are discussing here is now R to NR. And it's a little bit opposite. It is a little bit opposite of this. In the first case, bacho, it was paid by NR. It was paid by NR. Now here we are paying by resident, bacho. Clear? To whom? Again, anybody. Again, anybody. But mainly who we are going to see. Mainly if at all the money is going outside India. Correct, clear? So if pay attention. Any kind of what? Royalty, your interest, or FTS. FTS is fees for technical services. It is paid by resident, okay, of India. It is taxable in India. It is deemed to accrue or rise in India. Exception means what? But you will not pay attention. Taxable or not taxable in India. It is not, but your Indian income. Yes. Understood or no? Exception we are discussing now. What are we discussing? Exception. Exception means what? It is not deemed to accrue or arise in India. No. Are ya na? Simple or no? Not, but to what? Deemed to accrue or arise in India. Clear? Kushbu, okay till here? When? Pay attention. If the money borrowed, okay? If the money borrowed. Now I'm talking about bacho, money borrowed means which nature of expenditure I'm talking about. Money borrowed, what should come to your mind immediately? What have you paid? Quickly unmute if you want. Nijal. If the resident has borrowed money, what has he repaid? Interest. Correct. Understood. And used. Okay. If the money borrowed and used. Okay. Or technical services or royalty services are utilized for the purpose of business or profession carried on outside India. Okay. I took a loan, let us say, from somebody in Delhi, or I took a loan from somebody in China, and I opened a restaurant in UK, or I took some architecture's help in UK or USA, or I took some franchisee of some international brand and I paid them royalty for a business to be set up in USA or Sri Lanka for that matter, or Pakistan. Yes, all these amounts which I paid will be Indian income or not Indian income. Will not be Indian income. Okay, will not be Indian income in the hands of the recipient. Obviously, income obviously will talk from the hands of the recipient. Are you getting the point? I took some loan from India or I took some loan from Australia, but that money I'm investing in Japan, China, USA, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, wherever I want. Or I'm paying technical services to a consultant in what? Brazil. Okay. Or I'm paying royalty to somebody in Portugal. All those expenditures which I've made, okay, from the recipient's point of view, they are not deemed to accrue or arise in India. Is it clear? Same thing. If the money borrowed and used for technical services or royalty services are utilized for making income from any source, but again, what bacho? Outside India. Here, what are we doing on the opposite side? It can be NR to NR, but investment was in India. The utilization was in India. That's why it was in Indian income. But here on the right hand side case, if paid by a resident, wherever in outside India or even inside India, but the connection is what? Investment is what, bacho? Outside India. Clear on all of you? Then it was not deemed to accrue or arise in India. Kushbu, Mansi, tell me. Understood? Tejal, Nitin. Fine, Delia? Should we go ahead then? Okay, so yes, these three things are a little bit tricky. These three things. Interest, royalty, or FTS. FTS is fees for technical services. Clear, Delia? Paid by non-resident, paid by resident, and paid by government. If paid by non-resident, then taxable in India only if it has Indian connection. If paid by a resident, always taxable. Not taxable if it does not have any India connection. Are you listening properly? Yes. And if paid by government of India, we don't even have to see any other condition. It is an Indian income deemed to accrue or arise in India. Yes, Tilia? Clear? Should we go ahead, everybody? All right. We finished with this last part, a little tricky, so this will finish off today. Okay, ready? So this theory part you have to do. One more now. Check the first part which you have missed. Income deemed to accrue or arise in India. Check. Income accruing or arising outside India. Where is the income getting generated outside India? But directly or indirectly through an asset in India or any property or sources in India or transfer of capital asset in India that we have seen. And now we are going to check the first part, which is what, Bacho? Any business connection in India. See, are you getting the point? What is the overall purpose of Section 9? You can't make income tax department a fool or Indian government a fool. That you just all, it is, if the source is from India, we will tax it in India. Simple. If the source is Bacho from India, we will tax it in India. So if it has any business connection, if you're checking the overall essence of Section 9, if it has some connection with India, we are taxing it in India. Clear, Tejal, understood? So any business connection with India, where is getting accrued outside India, but because of some Indian connection. So just for a very simple example, let us say if there is a subsidiary company outside India. Okay, but the business was given by a holding company, isn't it? So there can be an Indian connection, and then holding company obviously let us say is in India. Okay, subsidiary is outside India, holding company is in India. So there is a connection. You understood earlier? So we'll do that part now. Okay, business connection. So, certain types of income are deemed to accrue or arise in India, even though, understood earlier? Understood the purpose of Section 9? Even though they may actually accrue or arise outside India. Clear earlier? Okay. First one you're talking about business connection. Explanation 2. So Section 9(1) Clause 1. Section 9 clause subsection 1 Clause 1. Business connection shall include any business activity carried out through a person acting on behalf of the non-resident. Okay. Acting on behalf of non-resident. Understand. Is non-resident in India? No. Correct, Elia? So check. So on behalf, if a person works on behalf of somebody else, we call them as agent. We call them as what, Bacho? Agent. So if any income is getting accrued because of agent, if any income is getting accrued because of agent's activity in India, it will still be Bacho taxable in India, deemed to accrue or arise in India. However, agents having independent status means what? They are not working only for one principle. They can be working for different principles. Independent status are not included in the business connection. Other things. For a business connection to be established, persons acting on behalf of non-resident must have the authority. See here, you have done Indian Partnership Act. So you are a little bit aware of mutual agency or overall in the concept of basic concept of agency. What happens in Bacho agency? A person represents another person. A person who is working on behalf of somebody is what? Agent. The person for whom the work is getting done is what? Principal. My simple question to you is, Bacho, can agent bind the principal? You understand the meaning of the word bind? Means agent does some activity with third parties. Is the principal bound or not bound? Yes, the principal is bound by the activities of agent, because agent is doing within his given capacity. Given capacity means authority. Understood clear? Correct? That is what we are discussing here. So if to establish business connection in India, the non-resident principal should have given authority to the agent. Okay? Authority. Which is habitually exercised in India. Who is where, Bacho? Agent may be in India. Okay, principal is obviously non-resident, but agent is working on behalf of non-resident. Clear till here? So whatever income gets generated in the hands of agent will be taxed in the hands of principal as deemed to accrue or arise in India. Clear till here? Now check. Must have authority. But who bacho? The person acting on behalf, that is agent, no? Must have authority, which is habitually exercised in India. Habitually means what? Regularly, normally, generally. To conclude contracts. Conclude means make the contracts on behalf of NR, or habitually concludes contracts, or habitually plays the important role leading to the conclusion of contracts. Conclusion of contract bachu means sealing the deal. Sealing the deal means what? Getting the business. Getting the deal done. Are you getting the point? Yes? Or habitually conclude the contract, so this is done. Okay? Leading to the conclusion of contract by that NR. Okay? By that NR. Can I say bachu is a sales representative? Sales guy. Is the agent getting some business or no for the NR? Check. Leading to conclusion of contract. Contract means what? He's getting a business. Okay. Leading to conclusion of contract by that NR. Okay. And such contract should be in the name of NR. Obviously, because agent doesn't work in his own account. He works on the account of principal. Okay. Or in the name of the NR, or for the transfer of, ownership of, or for granting the right to use or property owned by that NR, or that NR has the right to use, or the provision of services by that NR. Second point, or in a case where he has no such authority, which he cannot use habitually, regularly, but habitually maintains in India a stock of goods or merchandise. Merchandise means items only. From which he regularly delivers goods or merchandise on behalf of NR. There are bachcho at times pay attention. There are some, you can say, companies outside India. Again, I'm repeating. Okay, pay attention. Companies or brand is outside India. They don't have a PE in India. PE means permanent establishment. They don't even have branch office, etc. in India. They don't have a company in India. Okay, pay attention now. Fine. But they have agents in India. And these agents do lots and lots and lots, big amount of size of business in India. Because obviously India is rich in customers. Rich means what? I'm talking of quantity. Correct? Population. Correct, all of you? So this agent obviously maintains, let us say, a big stock of all the goods this company owns. He keeps the stock bacho in India. Very simple. Let us say Oriflame. You might have heard Oriflame or Herbalife. Have you heard of these companies? Herbalife, you might have heard of nutritional items. Now they have these. This is a USA brand, a very big brand, but they don't have any subsidiary or as such companies in India. But they transfer all that stock in India, and it is sold directly by the agents, bacho. And as agents, obviously, the wholesaler agents keep all those stock in India. Are you getting my point, all of you? Yes? Clear or no? Is there a business connection in India? Yes, there is a business connection in India. Because that agent is getting business done on behalf of the principal or non-resident. Clear, Delia? Check. So he keeps, you can say, what stock? Who, bacho? The agent keeps the stock and regularly delivers goods or merchandise on behalf of NR, or habitually secures orders in India. Sales agent, you can say. Simple. The work of agent is what? To get more business. Habitually secures orders in India, mainly or wholly for the non-resident. Okay. Further, there may be situations when the persons acting on behalf of NR secures order for other NR. Multiple agent or multiple principal? Bouncer, today's lecture is heavy. Tell me. Today's lecture is quite heavy, but for you. We are not solving today much. We did not solve even one question as of today. Anyways, yeah. Check. What are we discussing? Multiple agent or multiple principal? Where there further there may be cases when person acting on behalf of NR secures orders for other NR. You're talking of multiple principal or multiple agent? We're talking of multiple principal. The same agent working for more than one principal. So he gets orders, you understood? Getting business, getting more sales for more than one principal. In such case, business connection of other NR is established. Also of other NR, check. If such other NR, the new NR controls the NR, or such other NR is controlled by your original NR, or such other NR is subject to the same control as that of NR. Now your brain may be exploding. NR and other NR, bachcho. No, not so tough. Check. This was your original or no? That means your agent was working for this guy. Yes. And whenever they use bachcho other NR means there is a new NR. And now agent is also working for this guy. Okay. Now, pay attention. If this NR controls new NR, controls, I'm saying control, or this NR, the new NR, controls original NR, again I'm saying control, or both of them have some common control. Both of them but you have some common control. Check, pay attention. Mr. A, check the example. It is quite given to you. It's easy. Acting on behalf of Mr. X non-resident. Clear till you? Tell me who is who. A is what? Agent or principal? A is what? Obviously what? Agent. He works on behalf of Mr. X NR. These are original principal, but original NR principal. Correct. Now, if Mr. A secures order for Mr. X non-resident, no problem till you. There is a direct business connection in India. Mr. X, whatever income he earns will be taxable in India. Yes or no? He may himself may not be here, but he's getting the work done through agent. That will be taxable in India. Whose income? X income. This was simple till you. No problem. Cool. Let's go ahead. But if Mr. A secures order for Mr. Y, okay? Secures order for Mr. Y, non-resident. The agreement is between A and X. Right? The agreement is between A and X. But if A gets order for Y, business connection is established if X and Y have some connection. Is there a direct relation between A and Y, bacho? No. But even if A gives business to Y, Y's income will be taxable in India because Y has connection with X. Now how? Either X may control Y or Y may control X or some third party may control both of them, X and Y. It is like bacho holding company, subsidiary company. Bouncer? Or okay. Okay. Whose income are we discussing on the right hand side, bacho? X or Y? Whose income are we discussing? No problem, Nitin. Whose income are we discussing on the right hand side? X or Y? Very good. We are talking about Y. Y's income. Okay, Nitin, pay attention. There is no direct relation between A and Y. Not. There is no direct relation between X, A and Y. Why? Because check. Here, the contract is between A and X. Agree till you? That's why when A works for X, there's a direct connection of X in India. But when there is no direct connection between A and Y, and A works for Y or gets order for Y, see, tax or any law and loopholes. Loopholes, you understand? The gaps. Yes, Chalia? They are with each other or no? They are always with each other. So what was the earlier law saying? If A works on behalf of X, X's income will be taxable in India. So what loophole people found out? Let A work on behalf of X, but get order for Y. Indirectly. Get order for Y indirectly. Okay, indirectly. That means there is no connection between A and Y directly. Okay. So people were trying to find some loophole. So now again that loophole was fixed. Now what they said? If A gives order to Y, and if any kind of connection is found between X and Y, then even Y's income will be taxed in India. Then even Y's income will be taxed in India. If the connection is found between X and Y. Now which connection? X can control Y, or Y can control X, or both of them have a common control. Let us say if X is, if at all I use the word company, X can be holding company of Y, or Y can be holding company of X, or both of them are controlled by some third company. Then the connection between X and Y is established. Yes, that is still the same. Yes. Then the relation between X and Y is established, and there is a business connection in India. That's why even Y's income also will be taxed in India. Clear till here? Check. In all the three situations, okay, this one, X controls Y, Y controls X, or they are controlled by third party. Both of them are controlled by third party. Yes, still here, all of you? Business connection is established where a person habitually secures orders in India, mainly or wholly for such non-residents. Now, why am I taking so much in detail? I could have easily skipped all this part because directly some questions are not asked, but MCQ can be asked, bacho. And that 1 mark also becomes important. And more than that, if I leave these things for you to read and finish it off, then definitely you're going to skip it. I know that. Okay. So from my point, I'm trying to cover everything, whatever is available. Clearly? Obviously, every chapter may not be that easy. Every chapter may not be that tough. Easy chapter may have 1 or 2 concepts which may be a little bit tough. Lengthy big chapters will have majority of it which might be very easy to understand or logical also. Okay. So yes, overall you'll have taste of everything in income tax. Okay. But having said that, syllabus is huge. So we have to be. So I'll just say, just like in CA Foundation, you might not have given weightage so much to calculus, maybe, but you have done a little bit, at least basics of that. So something like that, we have to have an approach. Okay, that yes, our some chapters or some concepts will be very strong, which are also very important, and others might be okay. That yes, we know at least basics of that, right? But we should not skip anything at all fully. Clear? We'll go ahead, everybody. Okay. Agents having independent status. That means, are they working on behalf of principals as such? No, they are working independently as a freelancer. They're not connected to some only 1 or 2 parties or some agreement. Okay, are not to be included in business connection. Clear till here? Now, please understand. If no business connection, then principal's income is deemed to accrue or arise in India. If there is no business connection with India, then is principal's income deemed to accrue or arise in India? This fails, na bachcho. What fails? If no business connection, bachcho, not deemed to accrue or arise in India. Khushbu, Tejal, Nitin, you should have answered quickly. See, only if there is business connection in India, then section 9 is attracted, and then we say it is deemed to accrue or arise in India. Correct or wrong? Section 9 says what? Business connection. Are you getting my point? So if there is no business connection, then obviously it is not Indian income. Okay. So when there will not be business connection? If agent is working independently. But so what? If agent is working independent. Today's lecture will go, I think, in theory only, lots of it. Okay, everybody. Agents having independent status. Then there is no business connection. No business connection. No section 9. No section 9. Not deemed to accrue or arise in India. Not an Indian income. Understood? Yes, Tilia, tell me quickly, all of you. Understood or no? Then check. Business connection, however, shall not be established whether NR carries on business activity through a broker, general commission agent, or any other agent having an independent status. If such a person is acting in ordinary course of his business, a broker, general commission agent, or any other agent shall be deemed to have independent status. These things you have to understand. When do they have independent status? Where he does not work mainly or wholly for the NR. He is not fully or mainly reliable or working for the NR. Multiple principles and not bound or majorly for one particular principle. He will however, not be considered to be have independent status in the three situations explained above, where he works mainly or wholly on behalf of such NR. That those three cases we have seen. X controls Y, Y controls X, or they are controlled by same party. In that case, but obviously, when if he's working for wholly and mainly for one NR, then yes, even for the other NR, there will be business connection. Okay, so that was basically this part they were discussing again. Understood? So again, what wording they are using, bacho? Wholly or mainly. So wholly or mainly for NR, then there is a business connection. If not wholly and mainly for the NR, then no business connection. Understood? Done. Are haan, done no? Yes, Preetu, correct. We'll go ahead. Should I give you some question to practice? Something different. Theory is only going on since 1 hour, hai na? So take one question. Ready? It is not there, I think, in textbook, so I'll give you in the writing. Some extra question here and there I can give you at times, okay? So write down. After solving this, we can take a break. So take a question. Ready? Mr. D, an employee of India. An employee of Government of India, okay? Mr. D, an employee of Government of India. Left India for first time on 31st March 22 due to transfer to Canada. The word used is what, bacho? Transfer, okay? Transfer to Canada. Clear, Delia? He has not visited. Sorry. He has not visited India during PY 22-23. That is our current year, correct? He receives following sorry, he receives following income. During PY 22-23. Yes, Celia, all of you? First one. Salary is rupees 5 lakhs. B. Foreign allowance rupees 4 lakhs. C. Interest on bank FD or rupees 1 lakh. D. Interest on not interest, income from agriculture, sorry. Income from agriculture. In Nepal. Rupees 2 lakhs. Income from house property. House property can be shop, bungalow, flat, land, not land, sorry, building. Okay. Any hall. Income from house property in Sri Lanka. The house property is in Sri Lanka, okay? That is rupees 2.5 lakhs. Full stop. Compute total income. You can read the question again and give me answers in DM direct message. Don't write it with everyone. Message me where you can see the video and audio is on, and just calculate on calculator, whatever, or rough by pencil. And give me different answers. Okay, all of you will give me different answers. I know. Online also, you can try this question. I'm giving you nothing out of syllabus. I have discussed almost everything, or at least some part of this question I have discussed. Okay, some part means examples I have discussed. So exactly same. If you have any doubt, normal doubt, you can ask me. You can give me in rough. Huh? Rough means what? Basic answer without any proper presentation in notebook, because obviously you're going to write down all of that together. I just want to answer. Any answer I want is rough only. You don't have to do. I am not asking for tax liability, huh, by the way. I ask you only total income. Basically, you just have to add these figures or less these figures, whatever. Nothing else. You are not computing tax liability, correct? No, everybody. All of you. It shouldn't take much time then, if at all. And your answers can be wrong, make mistakes. It is okay. We are learning. Okay, fine. At least started getting answers here. Okay, so I'm just writing answer. Whose it is answer, I'll not tell you. Obviously, the rupees are in lakhs. Okay. That is one of the answers. Anybody else? Okay, that was okay. That I'm not asking. Okay, fine. Another answer. Okay. Khushbu, okay. Mansi, Tejal. Anybody else wants to give the answer, you can give that. Okay. Mansi, not sure. You have two answers then. I mean, okay. Fine. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, I got these answers. Okay. 10.5, 14.5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, etc. etc. 10.5, I mean, okay, only 10 was something different. Okay, fine. No issues. Fine. Mr. D, an employee of Government of India, left India for the first time on 31st March 22. Clear, correct, Ilya? That means he left in PY 21-22. So it has no direct, you can say, contact or connection with our current year 22-23. Current year 22-23. Correct, everybody? So whatever that exemption to basic condition number 2, etc., that is for what? 21-22. Clear, Ilya? All right. Due to transfer to Canada. All right. He has not visited India at all in the current year 22-23. So my question to you was, what is his residential status for the year? Okay, good. Very good, Mansi. Yes, all of you, I think, yes. Or correct, right? He is NR. He is Bachu NR, non-resident. Correct, Ilya? So what will be taxable in India for a non-resident? Tejal? Khushbu? Only Indian income. Very good. Very good. This is You are on correct track, bachcho. Okay, good. So only Indian income will be taxable. Clear? Fine, no problem. We'll go ahead. Somebody's answer was exactly 10 lakhs. Fine. Okay. Okay. So let's write down this. Chalo. Write down. Point number 1. Residential status of Mr. D. Nice D. For PY 22-23 is non-resident since his number of days stay in India is what, bachcho? Is 0. Finally, is what? 0. Simple. Therefore, only Indian income will be taxed. Or you can say taxable. Finally, here. So next line, computation of. Okay, Indrajit. Computation of total income of Mr. D for EY what, bachcho? 2024. Okay. Particulars. Type of income. And I'm writing rupees. First income. Salary. Right? Who is giving bachcho salary? Who is giving salary? All of you answer. Good. Yes, Indrajit. Salary by Government of India. Where is he working, bachcho? Canada. Where did he receive the salary? Canada. So accruing outside, received outside foreign income, but the salary is paid by government. What happens? Or we have seen the other case also. Any payment done by government, what happens? Tell me. Yes, it is deemed to accrue or arise in India. Okay. Write down. Taxable since services rendered. Rendered means given. Services rendered outside India. Correct? For Government of India is deemed to what, bachcho? Accrue in India. Therefore, Indian income and taxable for NR. You have to look at that also, no? Type of income and type of residential status. And taxable for NR. So it is taxable. Correct, everybody? So I'll just write down what rupees in lakhs I'm writing here. Right? How much was the salary but taxable? 5. Okay. All okay till here? Second, foreign allowance. What did you do bacho of this? Okay, Mansi, good. All of you? Taxable or not taxable? It is also Indian income. Yes, Indrajit. but you missed the first part of the lecture, so you are not aware maybe, or you forgot. What, bachcho? It was exempt under section 10.7. Yes or no? This we covered sometime back only. Types of allowances, etc. And for some purpose, the specific type of income is given, that is allowance. So it is exempt. Okay, especially for foreign. You're working in. Allowance is part of salary, I told you. Allowance is part of salary. It is income. Okay. But it is income. It is Indian income. But the thing is that it is exempt at the source itself. It is not taxable. The nature of the type of income itself is what, bachcho? Not taxable. Clear to you a little bit? We'll go ahead. Khushbu, okay? Tejal? Not convinced? Tell me. Where is that point gone? This one. Correct? Point number D something. Allowance and perquisite given is exempt under section 10.7. Fine? Okay. Third one. What income do you have? Question. Interest on bank FD. Achha, I have not given you the detail actually. Interest on bank FD, the bank interest on Indian bank. Chalo. Bank FD in India. Write down this word. In fact, this was not clear, no? Interest on bank FD. The bank FD is in India. What will happen? It is Indian income, correct? Taxable, yes, but taxable. Okay. Why it is Indian income? Because it is accruing in India, clear cut. So that amount is taxable. Clear? And then that is 1 lakh. Fourth, agriculture income from Nepal. It is foreign income, non-taxable, correct? Not taxable for NR, correct? Till your foreign income. All right. How much is that money? Whatever, it doesn't matter because we're not taxing it. Fifth, income from house property in Sri Lanka, same answer. HP income from Sri Lanka. Same answer, bacho. That's not taxable for NR. Six lakhs? Yes, Celia? Correct, no? Where all of you? पूछो देखें, yeah, ask me. No. 3 and 4 should be added. 3 is added. Why 4 is not added? 3 I have added, no. So 5 plus 1, 6. Why 4 we cannot add or should not add, bachcho? Because where is the land? Agricultural income. So where is the land? Agricultural land, let us say. Nepal. Is it in India? No. Good morning, Vishnu. Good morning. Correct. Both is outside India. Accruing outside India as well as received in Canada, let us say. Yes. Now you understand. Let us say he's doing some agricultural activities indirectly or with the help of somebody in Nepal. And this is just a theoretical question. Correct? And he is getting the money in Canada. You asked only total income. What have I told you in the first chapter? What do you mean by total income? All of you tell me, what do you mean by total income? All of you tell me quickly, what do you mean by total income? Accrued or received in India? Okay. As per first chapter, bacho. Have income accrued or received in India. Okay. What else? This bacho, total income means net taxable income. Very good, Tejan. It is bacho, a net taxable income. This is your final figure of taxable income. We just simply use the word total income. The name of the chapter is also that only, scope of total income. Okay, it means in fact, what income on which you're going to charge tax. So the amount on which you're going to charge tax is what? Taxable income in our simple language is also called as total income from income tax point of view. Understood? In fact, total income is not just gross total income. Remember that. From gross total income, you also reduce chapter 6 deduction, etc. We want what's your taxable income. Yes, Nathan. Whenever now and wherever I use the word total income or anywhere it is used in income tax, it means taxable income. Yes, correct. Okay. So I'm giving you a break here now. Okay. Any other doubt? Anybody please ask. D का foreign income allow government of India देगा now. Okay, wait. What is the point number D? Sir, D को foreign income. एक minute. Point number D, income from agriculture in Nepal. The agricultural. What you can unmute. Wait, what is the question? Sir, D. Yeah. Not point number D. Mr. D will get foreign allowance. Yes. What is allowance? Yes, good point. What is she asking is, foreign allowance is given by who? Foreign allowance is given by, yes, government of India only. Okay. Yes, no, ask me in evening, Indrajit. Pay attention. What was the question? Who will give the foreign allowance to Mr. D? So obviously, yes, allowance is part of salary. What did I say? Allowance is part of salary. If I just want a small glimpse, you understand? Some trailer of allowances. Okay. Check this page in the chapter of salaries. Lots and lots of allowances. Allowances are kind of at times fixed amount given in your salary, part of salary. Okay. Not for your homework, but if at all, see if anybody is doing a job in your family, job, salary. And if at all they get a salary slip, what I was using the word salary slip. That salary slip or document gives you details of the breakup of salary. Breakup, you understand? Let us say a person says I earn 20,000 rupees a month salary. He's not getting one single figure as 20,000. That 20,000 is broken up in some components, some parts. Okay, those parts are, for example, bacho. Okay, just for the sake of example, I'm saying basic salary, then bonus, commission, house rent allowance, medical allowance, etc., etc., etc. Okay, everybody, got it? So allowances are part of salary. Clear, all of you? All right. Any doubt? Please ask. Okay, then that's it. All right. We'll take a break then, bachcho. Again, we'll have to come back to theory then. है ना? Tell me. Break till 10 a.m. because I have to do this Nitin. So I'll check quickly, Nitin. Your work. Foreign allowance is not taxable because of section 10, subsection 7. All of you others can take a break. Okay. नितिन तुम मुझको फिर कॉल करो ठीक है अभी कॉल मैं फोन किधर गया माजी बस मुझको ये बंद करना पड़ेगा ना अच्छा नहीं नहीं यू कैन स्टार्ट let me just open the website CVS yes तुम्हारा कॉल नहीं लग रहा अभी आया Okay, can we start? हाँ ठीक है नितिन, अभी क्या क्या करें? ईमेल पर भी नहीं आया ओटीपी. Bad luck. Try at night, late night. I couldn't save the address only, no? So, okay, where were we? We did theory part, no? Ready? All of you, quickly comment. Your attendance again. Everybody, quickly. Okay. Tejal is there. Mansi, Nitin, Khushbu. Where is Indrajit? I don't know. We'll go ahead. So I'm going ahead. This part is okay, done. If you have any issues, please doubt ask. Doubts always ask. After the question is over, then no issue. Then you should definitely ask. Okay. All right. We are going ahead in the theory part. Some again theory is remaining. We have done section 9. Income deemed to accrue or arise in India. Whatever there is in our syllabus, till whatever level we have. It is actually just an introduction level. Anyways, then we have covered all that part now. For services rendered in India, do we have that also? Services rendered in India. Services were given in India. Tell me. Salary earned for services rendered in India. Isn't it, everybody? So even this also. Interest, royalty, FTS. If they are given in India, there is an Indian connection over here. For this part, I'm saying it becomes taxable in India. Clear? So we are still in the first part of this one. Business connection. Okay, ready? Chalo. Business connection. So we have covered business connection. First part, which one? Principal and agent relationship that we had seen. Mainly and wholly, then it is connection is there. If it's independent, no business connection. Understood earlier? Okay. Understand. At times for MCQ, it becomes tricky, problematic if you don't read ICS study material or you don't cover all the concepts given. Okay. That's why I'm covering here in our textbook. Understand now. Significant economic presence. What am I using the word? Significant economic presence. Explanation 2A to section 9.1.1. 9 subsection 1 clause 1. Clear earlier, everybody? Explanation, but I had told you, is a part of section only to give you better understanding of that section. We are in 9.1 and 1 clause 1. Clause 1 was talking about business connection. Clause 1 business connection. Explanation was given about this. Okay, business connection. Fine till here. Now we are talking about explanation 2A. Check everybody where it is. Explanation number 2A. To the same section 9.1.1. Clear till here? It talks about significant economic presence. Significant economic presence of an NR in India shall constitute a connection in India. Significant means, bacho, you have done this word significant in associate company also. Significant means negligible or not negligible or important. What do you think? What should we use? Negligible or important? Significant means what, bacho? Less or more? More important. Economic. Economic means something to do with finance, money, and presence. That means they have some presence in India. Correct here? Not a negligible, quite good amount of presence in India financially. Clear? So even in that case, we'll say they have a business connection in India. Ready? Check. Now, significant economic presence means, okay, check the nature of transaction and the condition. In respect of any goods or services or property carried out by a NR with any person in India, including provision of download of data or software in India. Okay. What is the services provided, bacho? Download of data or software in India. That means you are basically again earning from India. Clear? But when aggregate of payments arising from such transaction or transactions during the year, if it exceeds rupees 2 crores, that means how much are you minimum earning from India? 2 crores. then we will say you have a significant economic presence in India. Then tell me, bachcho, whether it is deemed to accrue or arise in India. Yes. Who is doing business? NR. What is the business? He's giving you your download of data or software services in India. Currently, everybody, see, download of data, it can be music, it can be videos, it can be any kind of content also, or software, any kind of services also. Okay, all of you, regarding any goods, services, etc. Correct? But if the overall gross income from India is 2 crores, then we'll see that NR has a significant economic presence, and the income earned from India will be deemed to accrue or arise in India. Clear earlier? Second, systematic and continuous soliciting of business activities or engaging in interaction with users in India. It can be PUBG, you know, it can be COD, any kind of games, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it can be. Soliciting what? Business activities or engaging in interaction with users in India. Twitter, very famous example. Soliciting bachcho means inviting or getting it done. Okay? Inviting, requesting for business activities in India. So that means basically when you're trying to get business in India or you're interacting with users in India. Now Instagram, Snapchat, etc., WhatsApp are not owned by India or Indian company. Clear? But they're interacting with users or no in India? Absolutely yes. Correct? Then we will see, yes, they are having a significant economic presence in India. Are you understanding here, all of you? The number of users for that case should be at least 3 lakhs. Correct? Are you understanding? Instagram may have, I don't know what, 3-4 crores population maybe on Instagram of India, maybe, or Snapchat or WhatsApp at least. WhatsApp, I don't know the numbers, number of downloads on WhatsApp. Maybe 5 to 10 crores. Maybe, I'm not sure. The data I'll have to check. You want to check quickly? TikTok is gone. Yes. What about WhatsApp? Are they given, why are they given million? 39 crores. Right, no? Oh. 10 million is what? 1 crore, no? 10 million is, sorry, what I'm saying. 10 lakh is 1 million. 10 lakh is what? 1 million, right? How many crores are these? Crores are easy to understand.
39 crores.
39. It's not given. Okay, we'll check that later. 39 crores. Only? 39. I was telling 10 crores. 5 to 10 crores. 39 crores is a good figure. As good as 40 crores. Obviously a good figure. Now 135 crore population is entire population. Out of that you assume below age of 15, 1-5, below age of 15. Don't we have children in the population? Yes, they are gone. I mean, they will obviously not be using mobile and WhatsApp of their own. Then there will be people who are old age and illiterate also. Obviously, those who obviously are not using, let us say, WhatsApp. Like a maid comes to my home. Maid, you understand? House help. She's quite old and she uses a very basic phone. So she's earning income, etc., etc. is there, but they are not well versed with what's internet, etc. Just calling in that way. And plus again, we have below poverty line people. So all of that. So considering that, it is good number. Anyways, okay, done till here. So these you can say activities or any kind of interaction will what bacho significant economic presence. Clear till here? Done. And next one, where a business connection is established. Now use common sense. Business connection is established. When? Why? Because we are in the second reason now. First reason was agent principle. Second reason is significant economic presence. Clear till here? Significant economic presence is established. Why? Turnover is 2 crores. Turnover means gross income from India is at least 2 crores or your number of users are at least 3 lakhs. Correct or wrong? Everybody, these points, these two categories we had seen. Okay, we'll go ahead, everybody. This is for download of data or software. Your streaming services, you understand streaming services? Streaming, Netflix, Amazon Prime, all of these are all streaming services. Stream. You get data only actually, no? From their database. Clear? With internet. Anyways. So where business connection is established, but because of SEF, I am writing SEP in India. Obviously use common sense. Only so much of the income as is attributable to the transactions or activities referred to above shall be deemed to accrue or arise in India. That means obviously whatever download of software or data is happening in India or whatever income you're earning from the users in India, okay, only that much income will be taxable in India. Correct or no? We are not taxing their foreign income, but so whatever they've earned outside India. Did you understand, everybody? Understood or no? So let us say, but Twitter earns from advertisement income. What did I say? Twitter earns from advertisement income. Advertisement given by Indian companies. That much income will be obviously taxable in India. Advertisement given by some other foreign companies will not be taxed in India. Clearly, all of you? Foreign companies and foreign country that advertisement is shown. Fine till here? We'll go ahead. So two reasons we understood, agent principle, and second was your SEP, significant economic presence. Should we go ahead? Everybody? This chapter is almost 90% done. So I think you need some question. Second we'll do at the end, very end. It also is remaining. There was one small theory question, I think. Yes, come to. Yes, I think we can do this 12th. And I'll write down the answers there itself. So no need to write down in detail as such. Question number 12. Check question number 12. Page 2.17. Ready? Examine with reasons whether following transactions attract income tax in India in the hands of recipients. Fine, tell you? Salary paid by central government, obviously Indian central government, to Mr. John, a citizen of India, rupees 7 lakhs for services rendered outside India. Taxable Indian income. I'm writing there only, okay? Yes, Indian income. Section 9(1). Yes, taxable. Interest on money is borrowed from outside India, rupees 5 lakhs, by an NR, okay, for the purpose of business within India. See, let us say at Pune. See means example. For example, Pune. What is the transaction? Tell me and pay attention. Who has taken the loan? Resident or non-resident? Read the question again, no problem. Who has taken the loan? Resident or non-resident? Non-resident has taken the loan. So obviously non-resident is paying the what? Interest. Correct, Ilya? From where has he borrowed the loan? Outside India. So it is NR to NR. It is NR to NR. Non-resident to non-resident, the payment is done of interest. But that money which was borrowed is invested in a business in India. Then interest income will be taxed in India. Clear, Ilya? Same thing, Indian income. Tejal understood? Khushbu Mansi, Indrajit. Section 9(1). Deemed to accrue or arise in India. Done? You were not there, or were you there? First part. 3 examples we have covered. Interest, royalty, and which one? Technical services. Okay. Third one. Post office savings bank interest of 12,000 received by a resident assessee, Mr. Ram. Okay. In your notebook, you'll have to write on this. Because you will say, sir, what is happening? Okay. First one is your Indian income. No problem about that. Second also same. Indian income. Third, understand. It is post office savings bank interest. Post office, you understand, Indian post office. They also give you banking services. You may or may not be aware of that. They also give you bacho banking service. Understood, Ilya, all of you? All right. So on that bank, basically savings bank account, you earn interest of 12,000. Okay. So I'm just writing for your understanding. Just write down bacho as it is. It is taxable in India. Since it is what bacho obviously Indian income. Fine. Particulars rupees. Fine, Ilya. Particulars rupees. Ready? Post office. Savings bank account. Interest. How much have you earned? 12,000. Okay. Less. This you do not know. That's why I'm giving you the ready-made answer. Okay. Fine, Ilya? But what happens is something we are going to learn later on. Some things we are going to learn later on. And then your answer of this chapter doesn't match with answer of another chapter. You will be saying why we have different answers. It is not like that. The concept is still the same. Okay. The only difference is that this is post office. Okay. Less exemption under section 10. I'm not writing subsection right now. We'll write down later on. 3,500. 3,500. So balance is how much? 8,500. Okay. Less deduction under section 80 TTA. It is up to rupees 10,000. So I'm taking 8,500. 8,500. Taxable will be nil or nothing rather. Tejal written Delia Tejal. Now understand. See, the first answer to this question is yes, it is taxable in India. Understand the point behind this. It is taxable in India. If it is not taxable, we don't even calculate. So we yes, first of all, bring this income in India, or we say yes, it is to be considered in our income. And after that, we see, is it a special type of income? Is there some kind of benefit given? So yes, since it is earned from post office, then a benefit is given under section 10. In section 10, right now we have seen 10.1 agriculture, 10.7 foreign, and this also I think it is 10.15 or something. That is, you get your benefit of 3,500 for a savings account. And apart from that, we get a deduction. Okay. Deduction little bit we had written but in our textbook for this chapter. We had done with one question, same, and I've taken the same section 80 TDA. It gives you deduction up to 10,000 if you remember. Okay. So ultimately the taxable income becomes nil, but first it has to be taxable. So it is Indian income, so it was taxable. Clear, Delia? Fourth. Royalty paid by resident to non-resident in respect of business carried on outside India. R to NR, the royalty is paid. Okay, so you are using somebody else's name, brand, service, patent, whatever, to be used in a business carried on outside India. Very good, Indrajit. It comes under exception. It also comes under exception. R to NR, let us say, R to NR, and the investment or the use application was outside India. Kushbu understood? Kushbu? If you look at the diagram, this diagram, this one. It is paid by resident to anybody. What is he paying? Royalty. For what purpose? To be used outside India. It is not deemed to accrue or arise in India. Clear till here? Payment by resident. I'm just writing resident for royalty to be utilized outside India is under exception. Okay, everybody? To section 9(1). Thus, it is or it is not deemed to accrue. It is not deemed to accrue in India. Accrue or arise in India. Fine. And it's paid to obviously NR, na, correct? So it is not Indian income and paid to NR, therefore not taxable. Okay. Therefore, not Indian income. And thus not taxable for NR. This chapter, last part only is a little bit tricky. Otherwise, it's okay. And after this overall, I don't think so you'll have any much big problem in any of the chapters overall. Okay. Kind of logical, everything will go. But yes, you have to remember lots of things. That is there. Fine, we'll go ahead, everybody. So, what about fifth one? Legal charges of rupees 5 lakhs paid to a lawyer of UK who visited India to represent a case at Delhi High Court. Since but services were rendered in India, okay, then it is in Indian income. Clearly, right now. Done all of you? All right. Point number 5 and 6 we have covered. Check bacho this point. Which page? 2.11. Everyone there? Royalty paid by resident to and non-resident. Who is the recipient bacho? Non-resident. In respect of business carried on outside India. Paid by resident to non-resident. All those three points. Which one? Interest, royalty, and fees for technical services. But used if at all it is used outside India, then it's not taxable in India, na bacho. Correct? Clear till here? Provided the same is not received in, it should not be received in India. This much as right now we know. If received in India, it becomes Indian income. That means if the NR is coming to India, the NR has come to India and has taken the money and then went away. He's there for only 7 days. He becomes NR. He's only for 7 days in India, he's NR. But in those 7 days, he comes and takes the money and goes away. That way. It should not be received in India. Clear? The 915C. Check what is saying. Interest again, same thing. Interest payable by NR on monies borrowed and used, but for the purpose of business carried on by such person in India. Okay. Shall be deemed to accrue or arise in India. Is it okay, everybody? In the hands of the recipient. Recipient of the interest. Recipient of the interest. Done? Okay. This we have already covered, no? Come back to our significant influence. Significant economic presence we have done. Business connection, agent, principal, and second, significant economic presence. Next one. Exceptions. I could give you this for homework, but come on, let's quickly finish this off. Exception means what? Income not deemed to accrue or arise in India. In case of NR, the following shall not, however, be treated as business connection in India. So they are not business connection. Can you see that? Not business connection. Therefore, not deemed to accrue or arise in India, not Indian income, not taxable for NR. Explanation 1 to 911. Ready? In the case of a business, in the respect of which all the operations are not carried out in India. Okay. In case of business other than the business having business connection in India on account of significant economic presence. That means this is to be removed. That means obviously, but if at all the business has significant economic presence, there is business connection or no. Legal language is always irritating, or it is not given in a straightforward manner. Yes, everybody. So that's fine. Okay, that's completely fine. We have to manage. We will adjust. Clear, everybody? So if significant economic presence is there, obviously, but by default, business connection is there. So we're talking of some other business. We're talking of some other business which doesn't have significant economic presence. Okay. Something else. The income may be less than 2 crore or number of users may be less than 3 lakhs or something else. No significant economic presence. Okay. But in case of a business, so that entire whatever bracket I've just now done is actually becomes unnecessary for you. Irritating. So you can just ignore it. How to read it now? So ignore the whatever is in the bracket. In case of a business of which all the operations are not carried out in India. Entirely 100% is it carried out in India? No. The income of business deemed to accrue or arise in India shall be only such part as is reasonably attributable to the operations carried out in India. Basically, whether entire 100% is it carried out in India? No. Yes, Guru, sure. Shall be only such part of income as is reasonably attributable to the operations carried out in India. And some activities are happening in India. Remaining activities are happening outside India of a business. Okay. Then which will be taxable in India? All the activities, foreign activities or Indian activities. हमको भी मिलेगा वक्त नसीब से. हम भी देखेंगे नीरज सर को ऑफलाइन क्लास से. वाह गुरु, sure. Only बच्चों Indian activity, income earned through Indian activities will be taxed in India. Okay. Therefore, it follows that means what is the meaning? Such part of income which cannot be reasonably attributed to the operation in India will not be deemed to accrue or rise in India. All these technical definitions. Okay. Now some examples. Income attributable to the operations carried out in India includes Indian activities or foreign activities. Don't get confused. Okay. Activities means operations. Okay. It is a business. Some work is happening in India, some activity, some project, some department, and remaining are happening outside India. Is it okay, everybody? So we are taxing only that income which is arising from Indian operations or Indian activities. And some examples, but they are giving you here. Okay. Very, very good and very nice example. Income from advertisement, targeting customers residing in India or accessing advertisement through IPA located in India. Wait, IP is what your internet protocol address. Okay. IP address. Do you understand IP address, Tejal? Khushbu? Answer quickly, yes or no, so I can tell you. At least I can tell you quickly then what is the meaning. Okay. IP address is every electronic device. every electronic device has an ID. So basically you are accessing the lectures, accessing something from where, from which location, that can be traced using or identifying IP address. Okay. So every device has what, bacho, an IP address. Every electronic device has an IP address. You can check on your phone also, laptop also, anything, whatever electronic devices you use, which has communication obviously in that. Understood? IP address. So location you'll understand. Just for time pass. Again, time pass. This is not your EIS SM lecture. In EIS, you do all of this. It is coming. It may show on this also, maybe. On the maps also. Okay, everybody? We can see location actually. That is more. Same number is given. No? It is giving your this area, but yes. So whenever you are visiting any website, they have your IP address. So they know from where the customer or any user is using that their website or any, basically whatever you do, bacho, you are being 100% and 1000%, 24/7, you are being tracked. You understand, bacho? Correct. That's why there is also concept of VPN, virtual private network, something I think. You can hide from where you're accessing the website. Have you heard of the dark internet? Have you heard? What is dark internet? What it is called? Dark internet or black internet, something like that. Dark web, yeah, dark web. Correct. Have you heard of that? Whatever you see on Google Chrome or any other browser you use, like Firefox, etc., is only 20 or 30% of internet, which is visible. It is like iceberg. You see only 10-20%, and below the sea level is everything, big chunk. Similarly, internet is something which is visible, and internet is also something which is not visible. And which is not visible is called as dark web. All illegal activities or any kind of activities which is basically outside anybody's regulation. Yes, Indrajit, correct. Outside regulation is called as dark web. It is not government by anybody. So it is risky also. And for that, you require a special type of browser. Yes, Red Onion, correct. To access dark web. Okay, anyways, it is again nice concept. You can go on Google and just check. Not Google, I mean YouTube. Dark web. What is dark web, etc. Okay. Anyways, let's go ahead, everybody. Fine. So income from advertisement. You tell me, bacho. Income from advertisement targeting customers residing in India, or at least the IP address is in India. IP address, electronic device is in India. Clear till here? What is the transaction? That user is getting advertisement shown. Obviously, then who is paying for who? A company is paying to the distributor to show advertisement. I think I discussed this in the very basics of statistics. Why YouTube is free, why Gmail is free. Okay. YouTube bacho owned by Google Incorporated. And let us say here we have Domino's Pizza, India. Okay. And we have obviously a user here in India. Clear? So obviously they are paying advertisement fees so that they will show advertisement. Correct? Obviously. So that the user will obviously will buy their pizza. This is logical, normal. We are talking of whose income now? The user or Domino's or YouTube? I mean Google. YouTube is not a company. YouTube is a product owned by Google. Alright, tell me quickly, whose income are we discussing? Everybody, Tejal, Khushbu. Income from advertisement. Targeting customers in India. Who earned advertisement income, bacho? Domino's is in India only. Domino's India's income will be taxable in India. We're talking of such income which is going outside India. Income going outside India. But they are earning ultimately because of India. See, Google, understand, Google Inc. Inc. means incorporated. I'm talking of Google USA company. Clear till here? It owns YouTube, this much you know. Yes, everybody. On YouTube, you and me, we don't buy premium YouTube. Means what? Or even if you buy premium YouTube, basically, you are making payment to YouTube. I use the word YouTube, but ultimately YouTube is owned by, YouTube is a brand. Okay? It is owned by Google. So whenever you buy a premium plan, you're making payment to Google. Correct? Or let us say if you don't buy a premium plan, but you are shown advertisement. So the advertisement, ultimately somebody is paying for that advertisement. This much you understand, no? Whenever you watch cricket matches, bacho, people are paying maybe hundreds of crores maybe just to show their advertisement of 5 seconds, 10 seconds during the match. This much you know. So somebody is paying for advertisement and somebody is earning, na? So the distributor is earning advertisement income. The broadcasting rights, I remember that now. So the broadcasting rights, whoever buys the broadcasting right, he is earning advertisement income. He will decide which advertisement to show, when to show, etc. Understood? So same thing. Here, let us say Domino's India is paying advertisement fees to Google Inc., YouTube. So that Google Inc., that is YouTube, will show advertisement to the customers. Understood? Customers means users. So who is earning advertisement fees income? Google, no? But understand, they are earning income because of India, or because the person who is paying fees is in India, as well as the person to whom the advertisement is shown is Indian or India. Basically, they are generating income from India. Yes or no? Correct? Let us say without having any server in India, without having any physical presence in India. Are you getting the point? So even these people are taken care of. Taken care of means taxed. It will be called as income attributable to operations carried out in India. Now, obviously, Google has presence or YouTube has presence in so many countries. So are we going to tax all the advertisements shown in Australia? No, we are going to tax only that part of income which is shown in India. Correct, everybody. Okay, we'll go ahead. Okay. Income from sale of data collected. What is the income, bacho? Sale of data. We don't read the terms and conditions anytime. We don't get time also to read the terms and conditions. And our data is, bacho, any app you download, any website you reach, first thing they tell you to register, sign in, give a mobile number, OTP. First thing everyone requires, bacho, is the data. Who are the customers? Are you getting my point? So basically, they have potential customers, no? So income from sale of data. The data is being sold. Are you getting the point? Somebody is collecting the data from the customers or anyhow, and the data is being sold. Data is oil. Data is the currency today. Okay? Correct? So income from sale of data collected from persons residing in India or using IPA located in India. So if tomorrow, pay attention, good question. WhatsApp today, till today is free only. WhatsApp, bacho, as of today is free only. And what WhatsApp is not even showing you any kind of advertisements. But WhatsApp has, bacho, all your data. Whatever data you are sharing with WhatsApp. So they can or they will maybe sell that data. Not your name, but at least your profile, male, female, what time you're active, what time you're not active, what all were your searches, what all were you discussing, etc. Okay, and I'm saying normally, basic details they can share with anybody who needs that data. Clear till here? And thirdly, income from, now third point, income from sale of goods and services. Using data collected from persons residing in India or having an Indian, your internet protocol address in India. Yes. First one was advertisement. Second was sale of data. And by using that data, you are selling them goods and services. Them means who? Your Indian customers. At times, if you again go to Instagram or anywhere else also, you will see some shopping website or some shopping account. And that might not be even in India. But you like it. You want to buy it. And the price is shown in dollars or pounds, etc. You pay it, let us say. You pay it. Directly, but it will be imported now. That person will be selling you, okay, from outside India. Clear? So in such cases, when you're collecting data and using the data to sell products like goods and services to Indian customers, even that is bacho what? It is included in your Indian operations and will be taxed in India. Clear till here? Kushbu? Tejal? Star mark this. MCQ was asked on this bacho. Purchase of goods in India but for export. Purchase of goods in India but for export. Bacho, there is always a big gap between seller and buyer. Okay, between what bacho? Seller and buyer. Means what? You can do good business even if you're not manufacturing. Okay, I'll be discussing this concept again later on also. You can do good business if you just are doing buying and selling, not manufacturing. If you buy something and sell that, this is called bachu what kind of business? Trading. Tell me. You may again Google later on or YouTube, whatever you want. See, if at all tomorrow you want to do business, any kind of business, then you can do it. Obviously, some small amount of capital will be required, but there can be business ideas, which is not that hectic. Something, let us say, bacho, called as drop shipping. Okay, drop shipping. Have you heard of it? Anybody? I don't think so. What does it mean? It is like bacho, Ola and Uber. I'm just giving you an example. Now pay attention. Ola and Uber. It is one of the largest taxi services in the world, let us say. Ola, Uber. But ironically, or you can say in a way, they don't own, not own, they don't own all the taxis. No. So without heavy investment, but they are still one of the highest or biggest auto at the taxi, you can say business in the world. Correct, Delia? Without owning majority of the taxis. Clear, Delia? Yes. It can be all of these services. Zomato, again, one of the highest, you can say, biggest business regarding restaurant. But again, they don't own restaurants as such. Yeah, so these things are possible. So basically, without owning, you can do big business. So here, like I said, you don't have to manufacture to sell. Understand this common sense now. What am I saying? You don't have to manufacture to sell. You need a manufacturer. You can just buy from manufacturer and then sell. Clear or no, everybody? So you have to be good at finding a cheap seller and a costly buyer. Did you understand? This is your skill. Find a cheap seller or a cheap manufacturer and sell to a costly buyer. Bakara. Bakara, you understand? Bakara means find a good buyer who will pay for you, who will pay you. Understood? In that also you can get good income just by the way of trading. Do you have any headache of installing your plant and machinery, factory, go down, stock, etc., all of that, employees, raw material, quality control, all of that? Nothing. Just buy properly and sell to the good customers. Right, Lilia? Hi, Indrajit, correct. Cheaper than India is China. That's why today also we are made in China, made in China, made in China. Diwali crackers, made in China. All your whatever happens, made in China. Or Bangladesh. Or Vietnam also. They are all cheaper than us. Anyways, understood here in everything? So, understand. Purchase of goods in India for export. Where are your costly customers? Where are your costly customers? Maybe Europe and USA. Understood? So buy from India and sell outside. This is not business activities in India. Understand? Okay? So check. In case of NR, ready, bacho? No income shall be deemed to accrue or as in India to him through or from operations, what activities he's doing, which are confined to, means limited to, purchase of goods in India, but for the purpose of export. An MCQ was asked last time, that's why I'm doing star mark over here. I mean, so much in detail that gone and asked the question. Purchase of goods in India, but further you want to export it, that is not deemed to receive, that is not deemed to be an Indian income. Understood, Tejal? Mansi, got it? All right. So, whatever words I told you, dark web, drop shipping, that later on you can write down somewhere, and then you can, what you can say, Later on, you can Google it or search it. Which point number 1? IPA. Which point? This one. Operations are in India. Some of the other operations are happening in India. Na? So only those operations in India will be taxable. If that Indian operation is getting you some income or giving you some income. So they are giving you these 3 examples. Okay. Showing advertisement to Indian customers, or selling data of Indian customers, or selling goods and services using the data of Indian customers. These will be called as Indian operations. So therefore, deemed to accrue or arise in India and taxable. Yes. But purchase of goods in India for the purpose of export are not to be considered as what, bacho? Business connection or any kind of taxability in India. Next one. Collection of news and views in India. Collection of news and views in India for transmission outside India. Means what, bacho? You're taking data, not data, news from India, and obviously you're showing news outside India. Clear? You can have CNN, BBC. Remember this? CNN, BBC, etc. Your international media houses. Okay, or international newspaper or international news centers. Check. In case of NR, BBC. Okay, you are getting the examples, no? Being a person engaged in the business of running a news agency or of publishing newspapers, magazines, or journals. Finally, here, selling of news is a business. Okay, but being a what NR, and what have we done in India? No income shall be deemed to accrue in India to him through or from activities which are confined to collection of news and views in India for transmission outside India. Yes. What is the activity? Collection of news for transmission outside India or collection of views. Views means again viewership. What again? What is happening? Viewership. Clear, Delia? No income will happen for that purpose. So basically, news is kept outside this because again, news becomes an important activity for any country or democracy, right? So again, it is kept outside that income taxability in India. Clear? Next one, same thing. Shooting of cinematography films in India. Okay. In case of NR, again, this is a little tricky to understand. No income shall be deemed to accrue in India through or from operations which are confined to shooting any movie. Cinematography means what? Movie in India. Okay, so that operations, okay, whatever work is happening in India, operations we're talking about. We're not talking about selling of movie itself in India. That will be taxable. We're talking about which activity, okay, shooting of movies in India. Shooting we're discussing right now. Not selling, or you can say opening of movies in India, okay. Shooting of any movies in India, okay. So that will not be what, bacho, your Indian operations and not to be taxed in India. But there are conditions. If such NR is an individual, not a citizen of India, clear, he should not be. We are taxing it or exempting it, but we are exempting it. But for that, what all things are happening? Shooting a movie in India, okay, by NR. And that NR should not be bacho and citizen of India. Okay. Are you getting my point, bacho? So what about NRI, non-resident Indians? They will not get this exemption. No, understood or no, everybody? Okay. Or, so if at all the NR is individual, then he should not be citizen. Or if it is a firm which does not have any partner who is an Indian citizen or is a resident of India. Clear? Or if the NR is company which doesn't have any shareholder, bacho, who is citizen of India or resident of India. Basically, there should be no Indian connection. Then only we'll say it will be exempted from the operations in India. Clear, everybody? Yes. The last part is not again that great, but let us quickly finish it off. Activities confined to. Confined to means limited to. Display of rough diamonds in SNZ. You can have a SEZ. Your special economic zones. You can have IT fields, IT sectors, or you can say your again technology parks. Similarly, you can have SNZ. So check. In order to facilitate the foreign mining companies, but I hope you are aware, India is very famous for diamonds, correct? Why? But do we have lots of diamond mines in India? Tell me. Do we have lots of diamond mines in India? No. But what do we have? Why are we famous for them? Regarding diamonds in India? Because of buyers in India? Customers? No. Diamond buyers are everywhere. What else? Gujarat. It is said, I'm not very sure, but it is said that almost all the diamonds in the world, they come to India for polishing. Cutting rather. Obviously, I'm not a technical person in it, but for cutting. Are you aware? Gujarat is a very big hub of diamond cutting and polishing. Okay. That's why that Nirav Modi got famous. I mean, he was one of the earliest persons. I mean, in his business, in his early days, he used to do that only, polishing and cutting. Okay. Mines are in Africa, etc. Mines can be anywhere overall, but India doesn't have much. But Africa is famous for mines, diamond mines. Okay. So they are rough diamonds. They come to India for polishing. And diamond is just a stone. So the quality of a diamond depends on what? Quality of diamond, or you can say price of diamond depends on the cutting. Okay. Understood, Ilya? Cutting and polishing. How much proper cuts are being given to that particular diamond? Okay, everybody. Are you aware? Diamond has not much or no much resale value. There is no standard market for diamond. Are you getting my point? There is no standard market for diamond. But there is a diamond, but there is a standard market for gold, silver. Why do people spend on diamond? Ask females, ask girls. Tell me, girls. Tejal, you want a diamond ring? Not from me, but from anybody. Or a gold ring. This thing is put in the brain. No? This is sold to you. This idea is sold to you. The diamonds are forever. Diamonds are girl's best friend. Tiffany. There are diamonds of what? Couple of lakhs or couple of crores also. Okay. This big diamond, that bigger diamond, some shade of some color also. And diamonds. This cut, that cut. Anyways, let's not go there. Anyways, okay. Oh, so pay attention. So activities confined to only rough display, okay, display of rough diamonds, okay, display. So just showing those diamonds in India, that is, you are doing an Indian operations, but again, it will not be considered as what? Income accruing or arising from India. So check. In order to facilitate foreign mining companies to undertake activity of display of uncut diamonds without any sorting or sale, that means just raw diamonds are being shown, displayed in a special notified zone. Clause E has been inserted in legislation 1 to so and so to provide that in case of foreign company engaged in business of mining of diamonds, no income shall be deemed to accrue or arise in India to it through or from the activities which are confined to display so and so unassorted diamonds in any special zone notified by CG in an official gazette. In this we have. So again, that's fine. Display of uncut diamonds or raw diamonds in SNZ. This activity will not be considered as Indian operation activity, or you can say any income arising in that case will not be deemed to accrue or arise in India. Fine. All right, Ilya. We'll go ahead, everybody. So again, business connection, bacho, which all we covered. Agent. Then what? Significant economic presence. Then we saw some exceptions which are not business connection. Okay, everybody. Yes. Done. All right. Come to 2.11. Again, theory, this next part. This I think you have covered. Any property or asset or source of income is in India. Definitely taxable in India. Yes, obviously. Sorry. Come to point number this 8 and 9. We will cover that today. 8 and 9. Ready, everybody? 8 and 9. CBDT circular. Remember CBDT circular, why it is given? Clarification.
For clarification.
Good. Good. CBDT circular number 13 bar 2017 and also circular number 17 bar 2017. Basically 2 times the circular was given. Okay. Income, pay attention, by way of salary received by NR seafarers. Seafarers means those who are traveling by sea. Correct? Seafarers. Traveling by sea. They can be obviously employee on ship, like the merchant navy, we have seen the example. For services rendered outside India. Okay. On a foreign going ship, either with Indian flag or foreign flag. Okay. And received into his NRE, non-resident external bank account, maintained with an Indian bank, shall not be included in the total income. We will be doing in one of the next chapters of NRO versus NRE, non-resident ordinary account and non-resident external account. Okay. Now what happens is, if there is a foreigner or NRI, he comes to India for a temporary purpose, so he can open a bank account with Indian bank. But the only difference is that he can open a non-resident external bank account. He will be able to access his money. Okay. But it is called a special type of account, non-resident external account. So whenever he comes to India, he gets some money or he has to make some payment, etc. That money can come and go in NRE account. Clear till here? So whose income it is, bacho? This non-resident seafarer. Okay. For services given again outside India. But he receives any money or salary, bacho, in his NRE account. Okay. Or with an Indian bank. That is not deemed to be received or accrued in India. So it is what, bacho? Taxable or not taxable? Not taxable. Yes, till here? They're clearly saying that it shall not be included in the total income. Clear? This amount of money. And last part, important, just term of this. FTS. Fees for technical services. See, Indrajit, if at all you open a savings account, this much is okay. And you are paid a salary. This much is also okay. Will this be your income or not? You have a savings account and somebody paid you salary in that account. Will that be your income or not? It will be your income. That will be taxable. I am saying the same thing. Salary is paid, but not in a regular account. It is paid to a special account called as NRE account. Now, NRE account is obviously allowed only to be opened by non-resident. When you go in a country, let us say you leave India, and if you use your Indian bank debit or credit card, or for that matter, even if you use your Indian cellular phone, Airtel, Vodafone, etc., will there be higher charges or no? Tremendous charges. International banking, international transaction, international service. Correct? In that case, what becomes easier when you travel outside India? You take a local SIM card that is cheaper because it is for temporary purpose. Correct? Similarly, you can open a local bank account. Now you're getting the point. Why? Because you don't have to pay big charges to your domestic or your Indian bank account. Similarly, who is this person, but a non-resident seafarer? Is he regularly in India? No. But he comes to India sometimes and leaves India. Seafarer means what? Something like merchant navy, traveling by sea. Obviously, that is his work. His work is mainly on ships. Correct? He will be getting salary. But you know, he may be getting salary in South Africa, India, Singapore, Australia, wherever he goes. Are you getting the point? So he may have different bank accounts in different countries because actually or really doesn't know where he will be. On the ship, bacho, he will not have access to bank branch. Are you getting my point or no? So whenever he is going on land, but he is not sure on which land he will go because it depends on the ship. Okay, which journey he has taken. Not think about this air hostess and that air steward and the pilot, etc. They're also traveling maybe internationally. Then 5 days they will travel, 2 days they'll stay, vice versa, something like that. So they will, for that purpose, for that number of days staying in some other countries, they will need access to bank accounts also. Are you getting my point? So let us say this non-resident seafarer is in India. So he is opening a special bank account. Understood? Called as NRE. Now in this NRE account, whatever salary is credited that salary will not be considered as deemed to accrue or arise in India. Khushbu understood? Mansi, Tejal, Nitin? Tell me now, Indrajit, understood? Good. Okay? It means we are giving what? Yes. That is, we'll see simply is NR. So it is not an Indian income. So even if it is Indian bank account, even if it is an Indian bank account, still we say not deemed to accrue or arise in India. Okay, fine. FTS, important definition. Fees for technical services means, again, a very limited point of view, है ना? Limited definition. Any consideration, consideration obviously you understand, means receipt, receipt. Including any lump sum consideration. For the rendering means giving. Underline this word: managerial, technical, or consultancy services. Including providing the services of technical or other personnel. However, it does not include consideration for any construction, assembly, mining, or similar project undertaken by recipient, or consideration which would be income of the recipient chargeable under the head salaries. Basically, bachcho, if a person earns a salary, we will not call it as FTS. Okay, salary income is not FTS. So FTS, fees for technical services, means something, bachcho, which is done in a way of by a freelancer. Okay, or by some company or firm. Clear, everybody? But what is the main work they are doing, bachcho? Check. Managerial, technical, or consultancy services. That will be in the category of FTS. Clear, dealer? What will not be, bachcho, FTS? Mining, construction, assembly. These projects, which will not, these fees will not be considered as FTS. A consultant, an international consultant, okay? An architect also, for that matter, a legal counsel also. Clear, everybody? They will be under the category of FTS, fees for technical services. All right. We have done lots of theory today only in income tax. Okay. So income tax, I tell you, it is both theory plus practical. Once we clear the theory, then we'll be able to do the practical also. All right. So hardly now 1 or 2 concepts only remaining of this chapter, and then we'll be able to finish it off maybe in the next lecture. All right, everybody. Yes. So my request to all of you, finish this chapter theory when you get time today in the late evening or whatever. Yes, too much of theory today. So once we'll finish this chapter, then again, next chapter, again, lots of practical things will happen. All right. Okay. So take some break. Then we'll start with law. Okay, everybody. Okay, we'll start with law in some time. Just a minute. Let me just finish this first.